And I just never really knew how much it takes to get to this point.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay, I'm almost halfway into this climb this morning. It's up to a peak called Bald Knob, and I left Brown Mountain Creek shelter area tent site about 6:15 this morning. It's still dark, so the sun's just coming up, and I've hiked about almost 2.5 miles, and it's all ascent. And so once I hit Bald Knob, I think it's at about 4,000 foot elevation. This is about a 2,700 foot climb. Then it's a kind of a ridge walk, kind of a bumpy ridge walk over to an area called the Priest and the Ledges, and that's about 20 miles away. So I'm sweating already. But I think once I get this climb behind me, it's not going to be an easy day, but this will be the hardest part of the day. But I might not have a whole lot of gas left in the tank by the end of this thing. So, but Brown Mountain Creek shelter tent site, loved it. Nice flat tent pad right by the creek. I slept pretty well. The only thing was there were rain showers last night, which I could not believe. They weren't in the forecast. They woke me up a couple of times. They weren't heavy, they were just light ones, and the tent was damp this morning when I rolled it up. But it was kind of surprising because the forecast for the next, including last night, the next few days was just clear skies. So I can't. It must be the Killington cloud just following me around. It's like, I'm not gonna let you forget this. You're not done yet. You're gonna remember this last few weeks. So I can't seem to keep my all my gear dry at one time. So anyway, these climbs are never fun, but later in the thru hike, the latter part of the thru hike, they don't burn the legs as much. It's still a cardio workout, but had this occurred in the first few weeks of my hike, a hike like this, a climb like this, I would have been finding some place to stop around 1:30 or 2 and setting up camp because my legs would have been hurting. All right, so we're gonna get to Bald Knob and see what kind of views are up there. I heard it's not so bald, but we're gonna check it out. We'll be up there probably in an hour and a half or so. Onward.
You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
I am climbing up Coal Mountain, and I haven't reached the top yet, but a little ledge view right here. There's some rocks down here, and yeah, great day. I can see, as far as the eye can see, the visibility. Mountains way off in the distance, all along there. Pretty nice. It's in the 40s right now, and the wind chill makes it a little bit brisker. So the wind is whipping up around here in this 3,800, 4,000 foot elevation range. And it also depends on what side of the mountain you're on. On the sunny side, it's real calm. I wouldn't say it's warm, but it's warmer than the side I'm on right now. All right, we're gonna keep on climbing. We hit Bald Knob. There wasn't much up there. And then I think this is called Coal Mountain. I think it gets up into the 3,900 foot elevation, and then we'll drop down on the ridge again and keep hiking toward the Priest and the ledges. So, onward.
Music, as an art form, is essentially playful. We say you play the piano. You don't work the piano. Why? Music differs from, say, travel. When you travel, you are trying to get somewhere. And of course, because being a very compulsive and purposive culture, are busy getting everywhere faster and faster and faster till we eliminate the distance between places. I mean, with the modern jet travel, you can arrive almost instantaneously. What happens as a result of that is that the two ends of your journey become the same place. So you eliminate the distance and you eliminate the journey. Because the fun of the journey is to travel, not to obliterate travel. So then, in music, though, one doesn't make the end of a composition the point of the composition. If that were so, the best conductors would be those who played fastest. And there would be composers who wrote only finales. People go to a concert just to hear one crashing chord, because that's the end. Same way in dancing. You don't aim at a particular spot in the room. That's where you should arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance. Look at the people who live to retire and put those savings away. And then when they're 65, they don't have any energy left, they're more or less impotent, and they go and rot in an old people's senior citizens community. Because we've simply cheated ourselves the whole way down the line. We thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage, which had a serious purpose at the end, and the thing was to get to that end, success or whatever it is, or maybe heaven after you're dead. But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and we were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played. But you had to do that. You didn't let it happen.
Okay, 6 o'clock, end of the day, long day. I had about 11 hours of hiking, 24 and a half miles. That is my home for the night, or what's known as the House of Hickory. So I found a stealth spot. I am on the Priest Mountain, and I'm on the descent. It's a 5-mile descent down, and I knocked out 2 miles of it this afternoon, so I got 3 miles of descent in the morning. So I'm kind of on the descent. So it's kind of hard to find a flat spot to set up a tent. So about a 1/10 of a mile south of here, there's a really, really nice like outcropping viewpoint where you can see down into the valley there. But if I leave in the dark, I won't get the sunrise. But supposedly there are really great sunrises from there. So we'll see in the morning. So I went up Bald Knob this morning. That was the big climb. And then it was like 15 miles of ridge walking up and down, until I got to the Priest, which was back up to 4,000 foot elevation. So I came down 2 miles. This is confusing, sorry. And so now I'm sitting at 3,000 foot elevation. Hopefully it'll be a couple of degrees, maybe warmer than sitting up there. There is a shelter up there 2 miles back, right at 4,000 foot elevation, that I got my water from. So I did not hike in with extra water because there is a couple of water sources within 2 or 3 miles down this descent. So I'm not too worried about the water situation, but I have enough for dinner tonight and cooking and cleaning and coffee in the morning and some water for hydration to hike out with. So long day, kind of cool though, as far as mileage. I'm now within 200 miles of Harper's Ferry, so I'm under 200 miles to go in my thru hike. And I'm within 1 mile of hitting 2,000 miles hiked. So when I hike out in the morning, my first mile, I'll cross that milestone. And I'll probably forget about it until the end of the day. But so something I thought was improbable. I never really gave it a thought when I started this thing, kind of in the back of my mind, oh, hey, I'm going to thru hike. I'm going to be a 2,000 miler. And I just never really knew how much it takes to get to this point. So future Hickory, congratulations from past Hickory. Let's call me younger Hickory. So congratulations from younger Hickory, because when you watch this, you'll be older. So anyway, beautiful spot here. I can kind of see down in the valley down in there, just through the trees. But the sweet spot is, like I said, about 1/10 of a mile down from here. So, but I'm going to get to cooking and resting. And the other thing is, leaving Glasgow 2 days ago, I had 77 miles to get to Waynesboro, which would be the southern gateway to the Shenandoahs. So I wanted to get there in 4 days, 77 miles. So I've hiked a 20 miler yesterday, and we'll call this a 24 miler today. So that's 44 miles. That leaves me with 33 miles to get to Waynesboro. If I can do a 20 miler tomorrow, maybe a couple more, that just shortens my fourth and final day into Waynesboro, where maybe I can get there late morning or lunchtime, and that gives me the whole half day, the whole afternoon, to get chores done, rest up, and decide whether I want to zero there or not. So that's what I'm trying to do. Maybe if I can get that final day cut down to like maybe 10 or 11 miles, and that gives me the morning, and I can catch a shuttle into maybe a hostel or a motel. So anyway, I am going to retire for the night. So Muffin and Button, I love you, and I will see you soon. Acorn Army, I love you too, and I'll see you next time.